how can I go to the market and then, yeah, I go and then they give me receipts for pepper and onions and all those things. So, because we are trying to minimize, we are trying to maximize whatever. Because if we had gone to caterers, I don't think the people who have enjoyed our meal, including the party agents, would have been able to do that. On the election night,
Audit, you've had the explanation.
No, Chair, I prepared it. Can you clarify, sorry? Question.
What did the chairman say?
I think he mentioned about these cash vouchers, but these were not brought for attention. You're not provided with these cash vouchers. And besides, when you are retiring, you don't retire your own documents. You need to provide receipts. And these receipts come from third parties, not you as an individual who is issuing that, who issued that interest. It should come from outside. It's not from...
They were retiring their own vouchers.
They did mention about the cash vouchers.
Cash vouchers.
Are available. But that is from IEC.
But no payment vouchers.
No receipts. Those cash vouchers would have
from the
receipts.
suppliers.
Exactly, from whoever they were dealing.
Chairman?
The bulk of these amounts that are taken off, they are basically allowances paid to our temporary staff. Because if you check our vouchers, most of these payments were done by our assistant returning officers who were contracted for 2-3 months. Okay? Some of them were paying without labeling whether this payment is for presiding officer, assistant presiding officer, police officer, or police assistant or police officer. So those labels were not there. Number 2, the vouchers has a column where a witness should sign that this payment was done in my presence. Those columns were not filled. This is why the vouchers they discarded. They said it doesn't meet the standard. So this amounted to this sum of money they are calling. Basically, these are majority of them are allowances. Thank you.
Audit?
I think he has just confirmed, the commissioner just confirmed that most of the vouchers were not labeled. So in that regard, we cannot accept something that is not complete as retirement. It has to be fully in those requirement of retirement. Otherwise, we still confirm, or we can confirm that the retirement should have been.
The audit could not confirm, and the onus lies on the IEC to provide for them to confirm.
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner?
Yeah. You see, I think those involved in election, those who feel it knows it. Election day, some of us, I could say 48 hours, we don't even blink or those because of the pressure. We want to deliver on time and we want to be 100% correct. So all these things were later discovered, as I said, those vouchers were later discovered. But some of them took it upon themselves on those vouchers because some of the posting lists, most of the posting lists have telephone numbers. They went as far as calling those people to confirm. Because I received so many reports, people calling me, I receiving a call, what is going on? They confirmed that this was pulling staff. Despite the fact that the vouchers were not labeled, but they went as far as calling. There's one scenario that I will not blame them because there's still 2 similar names. Bakari Jai. One is assistant presiding officer, one is presiding officer. The presiding officer is from Bolivanda, and the assistant, assistant returning officer is the assistant returning officer called Cantora. So obviously, if you see that you will be Nyanjor, that's what one can understand. So they called both of them. This one, when they called this, what they called first call was presiding officer. He said, yes, I know this Bakari guy, he's from Brikama. I'm in Bolivanda, I'm a teacher in Bolivanda. They've called them. The names were there, they called them, but they still labeled there to say this is presiding officer, or this is assistant returning officer, or this is police officer. That's the problem. We presented everything to them, the documents were there. But they rejected on the fact that these were not labeled, whether it's a presiding, a self-presiding police officer or police officer. That brought the whole thing. So, I mean, that's far we can go. We've tried our level best to explain to them, this is why, from 44 million down to 7 million, because the person they sent in was understanding. He sat face to face with her. He explained to her, and she understood. But the first team who came there, we are not understanding. We are not even willing to listen. That was the problem. We've tried our level best. Election, we know, as a politician, you know, election day, how things are tense. Some of us, you know, I mean, some of us collapse during election day because of the pressure. You don't need. You don't need, because you want to deliver 100%. So under pressure, if you don't understand, every little thing you want to blame. Very unfair.
I think INC need to, if you have, you need to expand on your financial department. The returning officer, assistant returning officer cannot be responsible for election coordination and management and at the same time financial management. I can understand how tedious it's going to be. So there is a need you improve your financial department, make it equipped, and then employ as many staff as possible so that that unit is entirely responsible for all financial matters. On the election day, they are the ones who will be responsible for all payments, rather than the assistant returning or the returning officer engaged in all or both at the same time. It is not helping. It's not helping. The finance unit from national up to regional.
This is well noted, sir.
Yeah.
Well noted.
Yes, Audit.
I'm happy that it was mentioned that initially the figures were 44 million plus, but when there was engagement between the auditors and IE staff, it came down to 7.9. So the reason being because the auditors were satisfied with the documents that were provided. That is why the figure came down from 44 million to 7.9. So if adequate supporting documents were also provided for the 7.9, and there was that engagement, it wouldn't have factored in this particular report. Thank you.
So, Chairman, I think the honor still lies on IEC to provide those documents for retirement. If there is no retirement, it will conclude that, I mean, those they were unretired, and if they are unretired, then therefore the funds should be recovered.
Yeah, we are open to foreign engagement, and once they are available, we can give you the documents. The documents are available.
Yeah, we still have our on the 6th. The documents are there, they can be available on the 6th.
No problem.
Can we proceed with 4.1.20, failure to provide terms of reference that are of the Commission's members? The findings indicated that the team requested for IEC to provide the TOR for the Commission members. However, this was not provided as a result the audit team could not confirm the scope of work of the Commission members. And therefore, the audit recommended that the management should ensure that the Commission members TO are be provided to the audit team for review. In an instance where the Commission has not such document in place, they further recommended that such document be developed as the TOR will articulate the scope of the work and clearly defining the duties and responsibilities of the Commission members. Management.
Management response. Commission members duly appointed by the relevant authority of state diligently perform their duties in accordance with the mandate of the IEC, as enshrined in the Constitution and the Election Act.
Audit.
Auditor's comment. Details of the TOR of commission members is still not provided to the audit team up to the time of finalizing this management letter.
I see.
Yes, that was not done at the time, but as we speak, we have TOR for, because what happened, we have already developed a new job profile. So where the chairman and the audit commissioners all have job profiles in there. So it's ready, we can edit it.
So as we speak, you have the TOR.
Yes, from myself down to the cleaner, everybody.
You have the TOR.
Yes.
Can you provide that to the committee?
Yeah, we can.
Why didn't you provide to the auditor before? Or that time it was not available?
Let's leave the, I don't want to.
No, because the response, you see.
Yes, because as I said,
No, you don't want to say that. I also, I will close the chapter.
yeah, because we want to move on. And then really whatever.
I was only trying to know whether that time was not available. If it was not available, fine. Now that it's available, can you provide the copy to the committee?
Yes.
Okay? That's the, how do you call it, the TOR of the commission. Also on the 6th. I think henceforth from now onwards after this engagement, the atmosphere within National Audit and IEC will be very cordial and friendly. I can, Chairman, I can attest to that. Huh?
Yeah, I'm sure we will find common ground.
Very well. Can we proceed 4.1.21, access to information denied? The file indicated that, the audit noted that the Commission transfer election expenditure funds amounting to 301, the same amount, $1,320,850 to private bank accounts of the returning officers to expend on the expenditure lines as budgeted. The audit team requested for the AORs to provide to the police their bank statement for the period 21 to 23. However, the CEO states that the commission members and the ROs unanimously agreed that they will not provide the bank statement as requested by the auditors. The same statement was replicated in the response to the letter from the Commission reference dated 11 March 2024. This, contrary to the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, as well as the financial regulation quoted above, and therefore only recommended that management should ensure that they provide to the auditors the ROs and the statements of accounts where election funds were sent for the period under review, in line with the provision in Financial Regulation 2016 and 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, and the management responded.
Management response. The Commission at the Commission meeting decided not to give out the bank account statements of returning officers to the audit team due to the fact that all the returning officers had sufficiently retired and accounted all of those transferred to their bank accounts for election purposes by the IEC.
Auditor's comment. Evidence of the bank statements of the returning officers is still not provided to the audit team up to the time of finalizing this management letter. We are also deeply dissatisfied with the action of the chairman in conforming with the decision of the commissioners, not availing us with the very important documentation queried above. We believe that he has an utmost responsibility of upholding the dictates of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, which requires the Auditor General to be furnished with information that he needs on carrying out his function.
I see.
Yeah, I think this section has already been subsumed when we are talking about giving you more evidence, especially giving you more details on what? On the expenses after.
The transfers.
Yeah, the transfer. So I think.
The outstanding balances.
Yeah, so I think we were asked to give information.
Information,
Yeah, and then if this bank statements come out.
National Audit?
Yes.
They rely on that?
I think the issue here is the blatant refusal to provide us with the relevant information, the bank statement, at the time. So commonly private funds with public funds is unacceptable one. Two, we wanted to investigate or look at into these funds and they refused. And we sent them 2 letters. They indicated that they are not going to provide. And their management of response also confirmed that they are not going to provide us with this very important document. That's why we emphasize that in our auditor's copy. Thank you.
Yeah, I think for this particular part, the essence of that request was for them to continue and conduct the audit. Now that that could not happen, then that means will IEC still need to provide the evidence whether there were outstanding balances or not. The issue of that transfers to be done in private accounts, that is condemned, and IEC had noted and trying to regularize that. Regarding the pending payments or the amounts not withdrawn, to establish that the IEC need to provide the relevant documents. If could not provide the statements to the auditors to verify, but now the onus lies on you to provide the necessary documents to verify whether there were balances or not.
The emphasis also would be going forward, once the Auditor General is carrying his duties, he should not be impeded in terms of getting information. Once he requests and he is doing the work within his mandate, he should be provided with the required information and on time. We should not
Very well.
Yeah.
That part of it, the committee will note that when auditors have requested something, the institutions will comply. And that's a provision that we will note in our report. Yes?
I just want to submit that here that National Audit Office, we don't have any interest in any individual's personal bank account if public funds were not deposited in those private bank accounts. Thank you.
That's understood. Vice Chair?
No, thank you very much. We take due note of what has been said.
Okay.
Going forward, we will try to comply fully and make sure that they are not impeded in any way in the exercise of their functions as mandated by the Constitution. Be rest assured that the Commission is really committed to supporting and cooperating with all oversight institutions. Thank you very much.
Chair?
Okay. Honorable Alcor,
Thank you.
can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I will. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and for those who were not here day before yesterday, my name is Honorable Sifatu Chan, and I'm for Parliamentary Constituents and a member of this committee. And my apologies for coming late. I was attending to another session or another engagement at Senegal with the Trade Committee, as communicated in the forum. Honorable Chair, with regards to this query, that the auditors further query and the management's response, if the matter is not being regularized, can we ask IEC to comply to what the auditors requested for, and then of course we attach the time frame to it, since this has been requested and it was not issued. Thank you.
Yeah, I think maybe you're coming late.
You've sorted it out.
Yeah, the matter has
okay.
been sorted.
Okay.
That's what IEC should act on.
Okay.
And we requested them to provide.
Noted.
And they've also noted that henceforth they will comply and make sure there will be no transfers to personal accounts.
Noted.
Alternative means will be done, and then already they get that process on, and they will speed on that.
Noted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we proceed, Madam Secretary?
Agenda page 76.
76. 5.11. Failure to have asset disposal policy. Audit indicated that they noted within the period ranging from 2020 to 23, some assets of the Commission were disposed of without due guidance from any set asset disposal policy, and therefore recommended that management should ensure that they have an asset disposal policy to serve as guidance when disposing assets, and that this asset disposal policy is prepared in line with the dictates of the financial regulation in relation to the disposal of government assets. And also management should provide the assessment report of these assets, assessment report on which these assets were deemed for disposal, and the management therefore responded.
Management response is assets disposed of not only hazardous and obsolete, but also highly sensitive, such as voter registration documents and election materials that were acquired as way back in 1996. Action to be taken is provided. Officer responsible to the Commission, date with is immediate.
Audit?
Auditor's comment. The audit team is not provided with an asset disposal policy up to the time of finalizing this management letter. This issue still remains unresolved.
I see.
Yes, at the time, we must confess that we didn't have asset disposal policy. But as I said, the audit has given us another oversight, another perspective here. So we already have one in place.
Do you have the asset disposal policy?
Yes, we have it in place.
Can you provide
We
copy
can.
to the committee?
Yes. So that is one thing I want to register, because even though, as I said, but we've taken positives from the audit report, and we've acted very, very fast on some of those things. Audit, asset disposal, accounting manual, and so on like things. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And even internal auditor, we've already appointed HR and all those things. We already have those officers in place.
Very good. So that also to provide one of the voting system. Yeah? Okay. 5.1.2, failure to maintain database of registered political parties. The finding indicated that database is a collection of information typically stored electronically in a computer system. Database is usually controlled by data management system, and during the audit, they requested for database of registered political parties in the Gambia alongside their registration details. But IEC, through the Chief Electoral Officer, told the audit that they do not maintain database of registered political parties, but instead only maintain physical files of registered political parties. And audit therefore recommended that management should ensure that they develop database that will be used for registering of political parties and at the same time maintaining details of parties that are registered. Management?
Response. Yes, the Commission does not have a software system for political parties registration, rather the Commission keeps a physical file of any registered political party. Accordingly, the IEC, additionally, the IEC publishes on its website particulars or details of all registered political parties. Action to be taken complying with political party registration laws. Officer responsible for remedial action, Commission. date when situation to be regularized whenever political party registration arises.
I see, no, NAO?
Auditor's comment. We are still hold the view that details of the political parties listed on website is not sufficient, as it does not even include the date of registration of the political parties. The Commission is called to maintain a database or record which will be used to register the political parties to improve accuracy and sustainability of details relating to registered political parties. These issues still remain unresolved.
The request is for ISU to develop database for registration of political parties. And in the view of the auditors, the website is not enough. ISU.
Yes, actually we asked, what do they mean? Not only, because anything that regards to a registered political party, details we have provided. We want them to give us what do they mean when they say database of political parties. Because not the definition of database. What are you seeing? We ask. Please, we have to that.
Let me refer you to the preamble of the findings. The database is a collection of information typically stored electronically in a computer system. A database is usually controlled by a database management system. I think this is what you mean, Ineo. Huh?
Yes. And in fact, this could be interpreted simply. Even an Excel sheet can do this. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to acquire a sophisticated software. Excel, just a mere Excel where you know the total number of registered political parties, the date they were registered, so that once you lose, or sometimes you can misplace some of these files. So within a click of a button, you'll be able to know the total number of registered political parties in the Gambia at any point in time and when they were registered. This is a basic thing that can be done without somebody having some IT skills.
You don't need to rely on the physical file, but also the data electronically in the system. Theo,
Yes,
you had explanation?
I think I'll let the IT, because I don't know when last you visited our website. If you can see, we have developed, even the political party heads, their pictures are on the website. Yeah, the symbols and everything. I don't know whether
Yes.
No,
I think it just confirmed, maybe it's an upgrade to their website. But that aside, I think with this Excel or whatever the database, once you maintain it, it's also easy for us as auditors to reconcile the amounts that these political, once they register, they pay money. So it's easy to reconcile it.
no problem, no problem. The IT is here, so we will take it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Currently, we have upgraded our website. And then all these things have been factored. Only that we don't have a specific of actually what you want us to factor in that database. But all the details of political parties are factored in. So if you tell us actually what you want us to factor in, then we can include it there. So we can update it to that standard.
not only the website.
No, exactly, because when you talk about a database, it doesn't really matter whether it's on the website, because you can have a database on the website that contains data. And where the data is placed, that's all matters. The actuals of what actually you want us to factor in, and that's what we will have in
That's what I'm
the
trying to say. Don't only rely on the website. What he's saying is that you need to have it at your office, but not necessarily.
Yeah, we have a physical storage for that.
Can you listen to him?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Anyhow.
I think at the time, what the query was, this was not available. They say they have it now. I don't know whether it also includes the date of the date that the political party was registered. That's very essential. Because when we come, we also check that against the amount that was paid. Registrations accompany fees. You have to pay fees when you register as a political party in the Gambia.
If those information are available on the website, is that sufficient?
Yes. I think, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, so does NAO?
And for us, I think basically we just need those basic information so that
In the website?
Website, I don't think we need to display the amounts there, but having an Excel will help. Because you don't need to tell maybe AP, a party called AP registered 2025 and they paid 1 million. You don't need to say that put that in the website. But you can have this internal in an Excel sheet. So I think that's proper that you display this information.
Not everything can be disclosed on the website.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah. Yes, Chairman?
Yeah,
I think this is a simple matter because we ask them to provide us what you want because all information that is required, we have it in a physical file for each political party. We even gave the political file, files of the political parties to the auditors. And now that we say database, let them tell us what are they expecting.
All those information in the files of the political parties.
This is what we are saying. So it's just now
But
that they are
those are
talking.
the ones that are not on the website. That's why they are saying you create the database and put them there.
Yes, in fact, as we
Don't
speak,
rely on the files.
yes, as we speak, if you ask me the database of all the registered political parties and their party details, we have it.
And the files.
Yes, not only in
That's in the system.
Yes, it's in the system. Oh.
It's in the system.
But when they talk of database, software, that was where this is.
Nobody is in the system. It's very much the same.
Just click on
Mr. Chair?
So let me say everything. Yeah, I think that's the understanding. If it's in the system, they are referring to that. But no, at the time, maybe it was not in the system. We are showing them the physical files.
You see, I think,
Huh?
yeah, I think we have because even like what we've introduced is even like the political parties, those that were we have those with those that regularize their status, and we have the new ones. Even certificates we can provide for political parties. So we have all those things.
I think, Honorable Chair, this would be a very simple issue. I don't think it's a complicated findings. Just to have an Excel and then whatever you have in those files in an Excel form. So that once you need those files, physical files, you'll be able to retrieve the other one, the soft copy. So sometimes these files can be, bulky, you close them, you take them, you archive them. So it's easier for you to reference.
Mr. Chair?
Please be rest assured, political parties are our main stakeholder. We value them and cherish them. We can never miss any of them. Honestly, talking frankly. So be rest assured, nothing of the political party will be missing from the IAC. That's our primary.
So the issue would be regularized.
It has already been regularized. It has been there ever since. All the political parties of the country.
I see you. Let's now agree that it will be regularized. Huh? Yes, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, I think all what we need to do here is to advise the IEC to the chairman that any investigation that the NAO is doing, let them provide that information that the NAO might need. Because this, as I said, this would have been a very simple matter to resolve. Because the NAO need either the Excel or the database that needs to be provided by the IEC so that they can conduct their investigation effectively. But once that is not provided, and I had, hearing from the CEO, asking the NAO what exactly do they need for them to provide that particular document, Excel or the database. I felt it is not the right time to ask that question. They should have asked that during the investigation or during the work the NAO was doing. The NAO would have provided information to them and the matter would have been resolved, but not now. So advising the NAO, the IEC, is to further comply with the NAO's investigation in providing any other document or database that they might need. Thank you.
I think the essence of engagement is to narrow down what could not be resolved.
But there are certain questions
sorry.
that
If the management provided response and then the audit are not satisfied, they make further comments on that. Yes, the institution can ask for audit to elaborate what they need so that they can adjust on that. That's normal.
But they should have asked that earlier.
No, what I'm saying, when they gave their response and audit are not satisfied, they can ask the audit for clarification. I think they can do. Can we proceed? 5.1.3, lack of independence of the internal audit. They finally indicated that the internal audit at the IEC, dated 25th January 2024, revealed that the internal audit who is employed on a contract for a period of 1 year before being confirmed as permanent staff is functionally reporting directly to the chairman instead of the audit committee. And therefore, audit recommended that the management should ensure that there is a sub-audit committee within the commission and that the internal audit report functionally directly to the audit committee. Management?
Management response. The commission will set up an audit committee and shall make sure that the internal audit reports directly to the committee.
Audit? Further comment? So therefore?
They acknowledge the finding, so we will follow up in our subsequent audit.
IEC, you did say immediately, can I say it has already been regularized as of now?
Yes.
Yes.
So part of the committee.
You said it?
Yes, of which I'm part of it, and director at the CEO.
Then to be confirmed in the subsequent audit.
Yes.
Is that what?
Yeah. Sorry.
I think they also need to seek guidance as to the composition of the audit committee. That's very important. Just mere having the committee without knowing who should be part of that committee also would be a subsequent audit query. Probably they should also have a finance expert outside to guide them on some of these things. Because having internal, only internal members or the commission members with the finance director will definitely defeat the purpose of having the committee. Thank you.
Should they have regulations that's guiding them on that, or they rely on the election act?
I think there is best practice. I think there is some provisions in the Public Finance Act and the accompanying financial regulations. So get best practice also in terms of corporate governance also to see who should be involved or who should be part of the audit committee is available. Even by searching online or hiring, an expert. We can also advise them on that if they need.
Yeah. So IEC can take note. If it's already in place, you can list with them to advise you the staff or commission member who's supposed to be part of the subcommittee. Okay? Can we proceed? 5.1.4, no attendance list or register for those personnel at the polling stations to confirm their presence. They finally indicated that during the audit requested an attendance list showing the presence at polling stations of these temporal election duty staff that were on duties at the different polling stations in various regions for the period in question, but details of this were not provided to the audit team for review, and hence the audit team could not confirm the presence of these personnel at polling stations in various regions, detailed indicated in Appendix D of the report. and therefore we recommended management should provide plausible explanations as to why an attendance list of register of temporary staff during period of elections were not maintained by the Commission, and that in future management should ensure that in subsequent electoral cycles, they maintain the attendance list or register which will be used by the returning officers to confirm the presence of the election duty staff at polling stations. Management response.
Response. Just noted, however, list of official election documents used at polling stations are prescribed by electoral laws. Action to be taken. List of attendance of polling station staff form to be included in the electoral reforms.
Any no further comment?
There's no further comment. We will confirm in our subsequent audit.
Can we proceed? 5.1.5 cash payment vouchers are not sequentially numbered, and the finding indicated that the review of the retired documents relating to election expenses for the period 2020-2023 revealed that cash payment vouchers used during the past electoral cycle to record cash transactions were not sequentially numbered, and hence making it open to manipulations and difficult for the audit team to identify any possible missing voucher. And therefore, audit recommend management should ensure that the cash payment vouchers used for the recording of the cash transactions during elections are sequentially numbered in order to ensure accuracy, completeness, and reconciliation in the payment process. Management?
Response. Said noted. Going forward, all cash payment vouchers shall be serially numbered. Action to be taken. Numbering of election cash payment vouchers. Officer responsible to commission the institution will realize next election cycle.
I just have an observation, Honorable Chair. I think it's very generic if you just say commission. The commission is a composition of different commissioners. So there should be a specific individual. Yeah. So who will you hold responsible if they fail to implement? So probably we also need to look at that. Whether the chairperson will be held responsible or a specific commissioner. In the absence of somebody taking responsibility, it means that the chairperson will be responsible. Probably that should be also observed.
I see technology. It appears all other areas where action support will be taken is the concern that is mentioned previously.
Yes, can I comment?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because the commission is higher than me. Because I'm just first among equals. I'm first among equals. Like I'm chairman, but we are commissioners. So we are the commission.
Yes.
Okay, it's just like NAO. Now, NAO is being audited, and everything, implementation of audit recommendation, and you say NAO. Who is the head of NAO? Is it not the Auditor General? Yes.
I think the nomenclators here, that's NAO, but like, it's the Independent Electoral Commission. And in the commission you have the commission and then you have commissioners. That's what I'm trying to understand. So I don't know how you interpret it. But a commission is a commission. So I'm the chairman, yes, but I'm not the commissioner. Because the commission is five of us.
I think IC is not the only commission in the country. There are other commissions. So you can take reference to other audit in this kind of situation where action is supposed to be taken for remedial measures. Is it the chairman of the commission or the commission that should be responsible? You can better advise them. Yes?
Good afternoon. Let me just explain about the spirit of the statement. We normally do follow-up audits. So this helps the auditors who is doing the follow-up audit, who are going to ask specifically if this action is being regularized. But if you put the institution name and a person goes there, it can be a bit challenging. So once you mention this and you put the date, if it is a department, if it is a HR responsibility, if it is a finance responsibility, if it is a returning officer's responsibility, so that can guide the process through. So when we know head of institution are always responsible, general responsible for all the information. If not, this will not even have been there. So that is just the spirit of it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I've listened to the explanation given, but we will stick by the commission. The commission is different from the Independent Electoral Commission. It includes the commissioners and the management. We're talking about the commission here, which takes the decision. It is, if you look at the organigram, it is the commission that is at top, and then the chairman is here. So it is the commission.
I mean, already they have noted and they are committed to solve this problem. So I concur with the auditors. They have to assign someone to take the responsibility. At first, I wanted to ask about the organogram of the commission. You have the commission here, and who runs the affairs of the office of the commission? There are certain people there. For example, you have an accountant, the accounts department. You have other people, holding other functions. So this must fall under the functions of one of the offices. So why would it need now, after accepting and noted that something will be done, so you want to take it to the commission to make a decision whether or not they will do it or not?
I think you should not prejudge or preempt the professionalism commitment of the commission. Because ultimately we are the ones who give instructions to the team, to the administrative team. So we have committed ourselves to making sure that we deliver on the promises, on the pledges, in fact not promises. These are commitments which are really stronger than the word promises. We will deliver. And ultimately any decision taken at the administrative level or at that level will have to be endorsed by the commission before it comes out here.
Thank you very much. Chair, then I will request for them to identify the person who will take charge of this responsibility.
Not to make that request. You cannot make that request.
Because it was started.
Mr. Chair?
No, you should debate on it and you conclude. Okay, yes, Honorable?
Yes. John, can I have the mic?
Mr. Chair, I believe what IEC is trying to say, if I understand, that they have the IEC commission, and then equally they have the commission. And in normal circumstances, I think the commission should be chaired by the commission, the commissioner of IEC. And in this case, I think the chairman should be the chairman, should be the head of the commission, who should take all responsibility as the leader of that particular commission. So I think this is what we need to identify here, and then all queries or any further question should be asked or should be directed to the commission, the chair, or the head of the commission, I guess. Anyway.
Honorable Chair, I think what Honorable Chair mentioned is accurate, because it is common understanding here that when we come to this session, during consideration, it is emphasized that the chairperson of the board, in this case, the chairperson of the board is the chairperson of the commission, without whom we cannot proceed. So all issues relating to audit findings have to be directed to the chairperson of the commission. So that one, I don't think he can absorb that responsibility. It is his responsibility to ensure that all the audit recommendations are implemented. So it should be in his name in this regard. Thank you.
I'm first only one, so. Yes, I'm part of the commission, and I'm the head of the commission, so it's a commission having a
Yeah, just that somewhat, that's what I'm trying to say. If they can guide us and advise, we have so many concerns in the country. What is the best practice for other commissions in this kind of things? Where you have, in other institutions, we have the board. There are certain responsibilities that is assigned to the board. Some are assigned to the head of the, or chairperson of the board, or something like that. But there are specific things that are assigned to the head for him to, so that this thing is done. Even whereas the decision will be taken by the commission. But who should oversee that decision to be taken? That's why somebody has to be assigned to make sure that whoever, which body should do that, is given the task to do that. If the auditors will come, they will not ask that particular person. Did you make sure this is done? Yes. I make sure it is done, and the body actually has done it. Yes, we know commission is the one responsible. But somebody has to be assigned to ensure that the commission does it. Yes. That's the essence.
Yeah, so it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Thank you. Can we proceed 5.1.7, failure to have witness on cash payment of allowances from the returning officers to the temporary election to the staff. In the finance, the review of the retirement documents relating to the election expenses for the period 20 to 23 revealed that only a few cash payment vouchers are signatures witnesses, and that majority of the cash payment processes were conducted without witnesses, and therefore only recommended that management should ensure that the cash payment processes were or are witnessed by an individual, and that the portion for witness signature on cash payment vouchers is signed by the relevant witnesses on each voucher accordingly. Management responded.
Management responded. It said noted all columns on the cash payment voucher. That's the administrative food.
They acknowledge that they are going to implement the recommendations, so we'll follow up in our subsequent audit. But Honorable Chair, you skip one finding, lack of an audit committee within the commission. They've already addressed that issue, but it's just for you to take note.
Right?
You skip 5.1.6, but they've already acknowledged that they have an audit committee here. So we can proceed, I think it's okay. It's already addressed.
It's addressed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Follow up. To be follow up, oh?
Yes.
Okay. Can we go to 5.1.8? Failure to process allowances payments through the payroll system. The review of the payment voucher files for the period 2023 revealed that IEC paid incentive worth of 12,709,077.53 without processing it through the normal payroll system used by the Commission for the settlement of the salaries and allowances. Instead, the payment was made by raising checks on the name of individuals who withdraw monies from IEC's accounts and settle the allowance payments to the staff. The details are shown in the table below. And therefore, management should ensure that the allowances paid to the staff are processed through the payroll system in accordance with the Commission's accounting procedure manual. Management response?
Management response is noted. Going forward, IEC will ensure that all allowances are paid. The allowances to staff are processed through the payroll system.
Any
we will follow up in our subsequent audit.
5.1.9, no segregation of duties on the management of election funds transferred to ROs. The findings during the audit, the team noted instances of lack of segregation of duties surrounding the election funds that were transferred to returning officers. And the review further confirmed that they were authorized and paying officers of such funds. Furthermore, inquiries with the CEO of IEC revealed that the returning officers were solely handling the fiscal cash and safe. And therefore, the audit recommended that the management should ensure that there is a full segregation of duties surrounding the usage of election funds, as it involves a huge sum of money to prevent an opportunity for fraud. Management response. Management.
But my response is there is always a clear and distinct segregation of duties. All officials appointed by the IEC for the conduct of elections, including returning officers.
Auditor's comment. The evidence gathered during the audit exercise revealed that the ROs were the authorizing and paying officers of the election-related expenses, and hence this issue still remains unresolved up to the time of finalizing this management letter. Earlier on also, Honorable Chair, with your permission, I think this was mentioned here that there should be clear segregation of duties. So, but the management response has not addressed that.
The management should address issues. If it's there, put it in your response how it is there. I've just mentioned it is there and they are saying it's not there, and you are not putting it to them as how it is there, the matter will not be addressed. Management?
Yes, noted. I think this issue came up, and then in fact you pointed and advised that we should get the RO should just be in charge of elections, and then we get more officers to do the. And then the commitment is there for us not to handle finance again, for to get finance institutions to pay to make all those things, so that we will just be responsible for the running of elections.
Very well. Can we proceed 5.1.10? Failure to indicate relevant dates on each cash payment vouchers relating to local government elections. The findings indicated that the audit team noted some of the cash payment vouchers were not dated. And then this made it difficult to verify the period and hence elections. And therefore, the management, audit recommended management should ensure that for the next electoral cycle, the cash payment vouchers are fully computed with relevant dates of payments included on each voucher. This will make the audit and other inspection purposes very easy. Management response?
As was said, noted, going forward, all cash payment vouchers shall be dated, actually be dated of election cash payment vouchers.
Audit?
We may follow up in our subsequent audit.
5.1.11 non-presence of an internal audit department during the past electoral cycle. The findings during the interview with the management team, audit noted that there was no presence of an internal audit during the past electoral cycle during November 2023, before November 2023, and that no internal audit function was carried out as part of the internal controls on managing election expenses during the past electoral cycle, and therefore audit recommend that as IEC currently employ an internal audit in November 2023, the audit strongly recommend that management should expand the internal audit function by having independent internal audit department with no internal audit staff during the elections period to serve as a strong internal control, putting into consideration the control lapses discovered during the audit. And management responded.
The response is noted. Going forward, aforementioned recommendation shall be implemented if budget approval permits.
And you?
We will follow up in our subsequent audits.
5.1.12 payment of huge amount of funds via checks. The audit noted instances where the account staff were given checks in their names and further distributed the monies after withdrawing it from the bank to the concerned staff as incentive allowances. And also supplementary budget for parliamentary elections was paid to Rosada via checks, and these transactions involve huge sums. Thus the concerned do not have a maximum reasonable cap on the usage of checks as a mode of payment, detailed in the table, and therefore recommended that the management should ensure that there is maximum cap on the amount to be cashed out. They should desist from writing huge amounts of funds in the names of ROs and other staff of the commission via check, as this will allow the possession of huge amount of commission's funds at hand, and this is susceptible to mismanagement or fraud. The Council may consider using election payment methods which offer greater security, faster processing, and easier tracking and reconciliation. Management respond.
Response is noted. Going forward, the Commission shall implement the Commission recommendation.
Enable.
We will confirm in our subsequent audit.
5.1.13 failure to obtain travel clearance for overseas travel. The audit requested Commission to provide to them the files for clearance certificates obtained by the Commission from the issuing authorities of such certificates in the presence of Commission's member or his staff embark on official overseas trip. However, the Commission responded that they are independent of the government as such, and they do not need to seek for clearance certificate. So the Commission members or their staff wish to embark on an official trip to overseas. And therefore, they recommended that Commission or its staff should always obtain a clearance certificate from a relevant authority prior to embarking on an official overseas trip, like other institutions in the public service. Management.
Response. The IEC is an independent institution as enshrined in the Constitution, Section 40, Section 3.
Audit.
The relevant section you quoted relates to the independence of the Commission in conducting elections, but does not cover other administrative related issues. Just like any other public office, the IEC should ensure that travel clearance is sought for all staff traveling on official duties.
I think is related to the previous areas where this issue of 43 came as a result of independence. Chairman, Vice Chair?
Just to be guided correctly, we need to know, you said a relevant authority, and as a retired civil servant, public servant, I know the authority that was in charge for issuing was called Special Committee on Travels, which was under the office of the Vice President. For the IEC, can you guide us where we should get this approval from, to make sure that it would not also impinge on our independence? Just need to be guided accordingly, so that we know what exactly what to do.
National Audit?
Even within the commission, like NAO, we issue our own clearance. For example, staff that are traveling, our internal, we have a HR function that does that. So what we are trying to emphasize here, once the staff is traveling, there should be evidence that the individual concerned is having a clearance. And this should be tendered at the immigration office at the airport.
No, this is well noted, and as per standard practice for all travels, clearance granted by the chairman. So we will try to make sure that we provide the relevant documents going forward, and we make sure that the clearance is. Thank you very much for this clarification. I think it is very important. But there is a big concern.
In the case of National Assembly, any member or staff traveling, the office provide clearance. That will indicate that officially this particular so and so staff supposed to have effective this date to this date. Just in record they can know your travel is limited to this number of days. Officially approved by National Assembly or by IEC.
No, thank you very much. I don't know what to obtain in the past, but since I joined the commission, all these travels have been sanctioned and approved by the chairman, and they are documented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we move? 5.1.1 for failure by Finance Director to review the retirement documents submitted by the returning officers after electoral cycle. The audit review retirement documents as the cash vouchers, contract review posting list, training list, and receipts submitted to the Finance Director by the AROS after every election period. And audit noted that so many inadequacies which are cited on this report, such as the unknown payment masters, failure by a witness on the payment process to sign cash vouchers with no dates, and payment made to unidentified temporary staff. In that view, if the Finance Director was reviewing the retirement documents submitted to him, all these issues highlighted in the report should have been uncovered in the retirement documents from the returning officers. And therefore, audit recommended that the Commission in its oversight capacity should ensure that upon the submission of the retirement documents by the AROS after every election period, the Finance Director should verify and ascertain that these documents are adequate as expected, and that evidence of how funds were spent on elections activities are adequately provided. Management response.
Response. See, there has always been a sufficient and adequate vetting and verification of all financial or retirement documents submitted by the returning officers to the Commission. We informed that the audit team had jumbled up and messed of all the IC documents, financial or retirement documents during the audit exercise, to the extent that the IC could not see or trace some of these financial and or retirement documents submitted to the audit team during the exercise. The Commission is kindly requesting to you, the audit team, to return IC financial and or retirement documents. Take it away.
Or just comment. All the retirement documents provided to the audit team were properly arranged in order of regions in the IEC conference room after the audit exercise. We wanted to hand over the documents to the Finance Director But he told us to leave it in the conference room as the IEC external auditors were about to start the annual audit of the IEC annual account. And the retirement documents will be needed by the external auditors during their audit. The inadequate retirement documents admitted by the finance director reveals that a proper review of these documents was not done by him upon receiving these documents from the returning officers, and hence this issue remains unresolved.
I see.
Chairman.
Yes.
I don't recall ever admitting to inadequate financial documents. What we said was, due to the way they messed up the documents, some of these vouchers could not receive. There was never an admission of inadequate retirement documents. I don't recall.
There was never
an admission of inadequate retirement documents.
That goes under the further comment.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all it.
Yes, we have seen series of queries here relating to unretired interest amounting to 7.9 million. Earlier, cash vouchers that are not dated, and they acknowledge some of those findings. And besides, we didn't mention this in our findings, but it also occurred that some cars were found in some of the vouchers when we are looking at the retirement documents. If it was reviewed, this would not have happened.
Those cash vouchers that we received were from Bukama. Some of them were, because we couldn't take it back to the bank. These are the monies that were returned by the arrows. Monies that were directed to the bank, they are not given to us.
Hello?
Good afternoon, Chair. Mr. Finance Director, you initially mentioned that when the arrows have retired their funds, you normally give them a receipt. So why not give them the receipt and take the funds where it's supposed to be, rather than keeping it in those retirement documents?
Did you find any retirement funds of these arrows in the finance?
We found cards.
How much? What was the amount?
Sorry, can we seek the care, address each other directly? Yes. Hello?
I think this report has manifested that there were a series of gaps in terms of how retirements were handled. And they acknowledge some of these findings. Even the establishment of the audit committee, the internal audit, these were all lapses. So obviously, it is surprising that the director of finance is saying that there are no deficiencies or inadequacies in those requirements. Thank you.
No, I did say there was, what I'm referring to is the statement here. Director of finance admitted to the inadequate retirement documents. This 7 million you're talking about. We are referring to the cash payment vouchers. Like you were saying, some of them were not dated, some of them were unsigned, unknown paymasters. So we can accept those things, but to say that the director of finance admitted inadequate retirement documents, so that's not true.
So you do not agree that the inadequacy of the retirement documents?
Yes, that's what I'm quite
okay. But that distribution can be regularized.
Yes.
IC can commit to that.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's all.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, we are committed to doing that.
Yes, Honorable Chan.
I accept for the fact that the Vice Chairman is saying that they're committed to doing that. But then we need to know why those money, physical cash that were kept in those vouchers, why were they kept in those vouchers, and for how long have they been kept in those vouchers? As alluded by the NEO.
These, as he said, those cash, these are not retirement monies. These are monies that were supposed to be returned. Some of these monies are not being accepted by the bank. If they are, let's say, notes that are spoiled or something, we take it to the bank, it doesn't come back. So we leave it there as evidence to show that, because arrows come back and complain to us, but we cannot pay them back. But they are the custodian of that budget. So it's bought by them, not us. So it's not as if these were retirement monies of 100,000, 300,000 that they found in the vouchers. That's not correct.
I think the issue here is not about only the money, but the analysis in terms of managing these retirements. You should be reviewing the retirement. That's what we are emphasizing. Whether the monies were accepted or not accepted is another thing else. But then the emphasis here, the retirement documents from the ROs should be reviewed adequately.
I was responding to her question. I think we moved on from there. She was asking me what my response were. That's why I was responding to you.
Yes, with your permission, Mr. Chair. The reason why I asked, because I'm just only trying to see whether that money being kept in those vouchers will not affect the retirement. You understand? So this is what I'm trying to affect. Because even if it is a $C, just $1 might affect the retirement. It will not be, I don't know how to say it anyway, but it might affect the retirement as well. So this is the reason I asked.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Sorry, sir. Chair.
Yes.
Sorry, Director of Finance. Is it the Director of Finance? Do you still have those mutilated notes? Those mutilated notes. The monies you said they are mutilated. What?
It should be kept in the office. I'll test it right now.
But do you know that the central bank, they do take those mutilated notes and change them?
Not always. Some of them are really bad. It's not everything that they take.
Yes.
Okay, let me just, good afternoon. Let me just say something. What happens is after the Director of Finance checks our documents, what he gives you is a piece of paper to tell you exactly how much you're returning. Now, in some instances, you made to pay for monies that you did not even touch. Say, for example, in Brikama, after the whole elections, I personally returned over $2 million. Now, all you see is pay back this money. That's what happens. You just get a piece of paper from the Director of Finance, and he will tell you this is what you're supposed to pay back. And that's the time that you go and pay to the account and bring back the receipt.
Yes, if I may understand you said you personally paid about $2 million some time ago?
Yes.
And you still kept silent on that?
Well, it should be reflected. It's over all the elections.
Yes, I think what he's explaining is that after the exercise, that is what we are being told. Now, on these monies, we are all returning on this. Because sometimes you go like 9 million, 10 million, sometimes, we've been paying at monies that we didn't even spend. Because sometimes most of our allowances, some of it goes into that. Because you go to the bank sometimes, they give you just sealed packets. You don't have time to count 9 million or 10 million or 12 million because you are time bound. So sometimes in those packets you have is mutilated money. And at the end of the day, the bank will tell you they've given you 10 or 12 million. So whatever happens is all the shortages are borne by the return officer because you need. Yeah, so going forward, I think we will, as I said, we take the positives, and then those those instances wherein we need to improve, we improve for the better management of the elections.
Okay, can we proceed? I think that's the last part. 5.1.1 failure to have human resource sponsor within the commission. Yes?
Yeah, can they tell us the amount of those mutilated notes? Because they are public funds. The mutilated notes in those retirement.
Where is that in the report?
The ones we just passed.
Yes, we just finished. Yes, you say what?
Total amount of notes.
Yes, I said where do you find?
It was part of the explanation. Yeah, it was part of their explanation. The auditor said during the review of the retired documents, they found some money there. So we want to know how much is money did they find there in the retirement documents.
Totality.
This is below $2,000. It's above 1,000.
It's
thereabout.
insignificant.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can we proceed? The last one, 5.1.15, failure to have human resource person within the commission. The findings indicated that during the interview with the CEO and other members of the management team in the entrance meeting, the audit team inquired if there is any human resource person within IAC. The audit team was told that there is no human resource department and that all the HR function was done by the administration department. However, the audit observed that due to the gaps noted during the hiring process of the temporary election duty staff, which involves the commission failing to keep record of employee information, the commission needs to hire HR personnel to be able to carry out this very important duty. And therefore, the audit recommended that the commission management should ensure that they have human resource department to carry out the function of hiring the process and the management response.
Response noted, since going forward, the affirmation recommendation shall be implemented in project approval process.
No further comment from the audit?
We will confirm in our subsequent audit. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chair, I want to inform you that we've already recruited the human resources.
The human resource is already recruited.
Yes, starting on the third.
One person?
No, because that is what your humble committee approved for now. If you want to give us
That's what you provide to my committee.
all right, we'll come for more. We'll be on
And let that be a
One of them the committee first.
a woman.
Okay, thank you very much.
in for the gender and the legal unit, they are all headed by you.
Bravo.
We have a
Thank you very much,
Bravo.
honorable members. This has brought us to the end of the consideration. Any comments before I allow the chairman to say a word or two? Member? Thank you. So, chairman, do you have anything to say before we conclude?
Yeah, since the vice chair was here throughout, I think I'll give him the privilege to. He was sitting in for me, so I think I'll give him that chance to speak.
Vice Chair?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman of the IEC. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman of this esteemed FPAC. Members of the National Audit Committee and all others that are embedded in that committee from the PP and the GPP and others, and honorable members. I would like to thank, honestly speaking, from the bottom of my heart, the chairman for the professional manner in which he guided the discussions, and all the honorable members for their constructive comments, suggestions, and recommendations. As IEC, we place a lot of importance to the oversight functions of these two institutions, the National Audit Office and the FPAC. There have been some moments of tension, this is normal, but we've been able to get over them. Because in the final analysis, actually, the intention was to make sure that we do the right thing and that we comply with the relevant provisions of the constitutions and all other relevant laws. And I can tell you that as a commission, we are committed to making sure that we live up to that. All that we do, as I stated earlier on, is premised on the principles we cherish very, very much. That is integrity and accountability. Because at the end of the day, we know that we have to leave a legacy here, and legacy would be the yardstick by which our kids, future generations, would judge us. We will not be here permanently. So, just once again, I would like to thank also members of the IAC for going through this exercise. It's not a very easy exercise. I know exactly why I'm saying this. But this is, when you're in public office also, you have to be accountable when you are engaged in the use of public funds, which we highly appreciated. And this for us, it was a very important learning curve. And even before some of the recommendations emanating from this esteemed committee and from the National Audit Office were, formally endorsed and approved at the highest level, we decided to move ahead with implementing some of them. And also, we know we are not saints. Honestly, we are not. We have our shortcomings, and we'll try to address them based on what we have acquired here. So when we meet again, during another exercise, you will see that we would have improved a lot. And we would like to thank each and every one of you for the constructive, interactive exchanges. And if there have been any slippages, we would like to extend our apologies sincerely, because that was not the intention. Perhaps, at times, management of emotions, emotional intelligence can be a challenge as human beings. But going forward, this is our country, and we are all working for the best interest and betterment of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable?
Yeah, I wanted to add some few words here and some advices to the IEC. Based on the responses that you have made, and you have been also citing the section 43 and the independence of the IEC. The independence is only limited to performing your duties and your mandate as an institution. But that doesn't mean you are totally independent, because you are dealing with public funds. That is why you are audited. So in that regard, I'm advising you build up that friendly relations with them, because their work is just to enhance accountability and transparency. So on that note, I thank you very much.
I think that chapter was closed.
No, but I told you.
I never knew that you would take that.
I told you that one of the discussions. You said that. Well, we are so sorry.
Anyway, at this juncture, let me thank the honorable members, the National Audit Office, and then the Independent Electoral Commission, the corporation. Actually, special audit is never easy. I can see the annual audits are always in institutions, but one is special audit. In fact, this one is better than the one that came before IEC. That one was very tough. But for IEC, I can see the tail and everything went very well. So that one is normal for special audit. The essence of auditing, not to be seen as witch hunting, likewise not to be done as witch hunting. There are two sides. So it's important both sides we do it professionally, so that what we want can be realized. We can do the oversight, and then we can also learn and do better. If we are doing good, then we can be better or the best. So that's the essence. I want to believe we've all learned a lot from this, not only IEC, national, even National Assembly ourselves. there are issues that touch us. I can see that from my side, and I can make sure at my level as a board member, as the authority member, we also adjust at our end. That's not only implying to IEC as an independent, we are also independent institution. Our independence has limitation. Everywhere we are independent, our independence has limitation. Administration, management, yes. But when it comes to finance, there's a body that will oversee us, and that one we have to go by the dictates of the Public Finance Act. Our regulation is there, but the Public Finance Act is another that we have to rely on to carry out our financial functions as well. Yes, sir. Having made that remarks, to conclude, honorable members, we have some pending matters that the Commission is supposed to provide us some documents, and which we will go through, and that will guide us to prepare our report. Where there are proven evidences, then that will inform us what decision or position we have to take, comparing with that of the position of the National Audit. As I've said earlier on, where the Commission could not provide evidences as required by the National Audit, and they concluded that such issues remain unresolved, and then those are not part of the areas where I is supposed to provide further evidence or document that in their possession. That means the Commission or the committee will take the question of the National Audit, and then that will inform us as how our report and recommendation will look like. Upon considering and adopting the report, then the committee will prepare our report and submit that to the plenary. I want to believe by the first quarter of 2026. That will be our next session after the budget session. That will be later, starting tomorrow. Our next session in January or February. We look forward to read the report, and we will invite the IEC to be in attendance to witness the laying of the report. Having made that, can I ask any member to move the motion for the committee to consider and adopt this special audit report of the Independent Electoral Commission from the period 1st January 2020 to 31st December 2023.
I move. I move.
I second the motion.
Now you move the motion?
Yeah,
I'm asking you to move the motion.
Yeah. As you rightly said, Chair, I move that we adopt.
Consider and adopt.
Consider and adopt.
Okay. Seconded?
Seconded.
It has been moved and seconded that this August committee do consider and adopt the special audit report of the Independent Electoral Commission for the period 1st January 2020 to 31st December 2023. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And not in favor, please say no. There is on that note, the special audit report of the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, for the period 1st January 2020 to 31st December 2023 is considered and adopted. And then, Chairperson, the documents that are requested, the deadline for submission is 6 October.
November.
Oh, November.
We are
going out of October now. Oh,
October is out.
Is the secretary who put October on the other side? So, November 2025. Okay, Chairperson, IEC. On that note, honorable members, can any honorable member move that we adjourn the sitting, shall and die? Second. It has been moved and seconded that the sitting be adjourned, shall and die. Yes.